So in the previous class, we had discussed about monosaccharides, and I ended up talking about glucose. How glucose, instead of being in a linear form, it is staying in a chain or circular or pyranose form or furanose form, whatever we call it, essentially staying in a cyclic form. So in this class, we'll talk about oligosaccharides. Hopefully, we'll be able to complete polysaccharides as well. Now, oligo essentially means few. So these are short chain monosaccharides and they are joined by something called a glycosidic linkage. So glycosidic linkage क्या है? Let us suppose this is a monosaccharide and this is another monosaccharide. Now each of these can have any number of carbons. Let us suppose this is 3 carbon monosaccharide and this is 30 carbon monosaccharide. It does not depend on how many carbons it has. It will depend on how whether or not this bond is present. So there should be a bond like this. Okay, this fellow is called a glycosidic linkage. Okay, so short chain monosaccharides that are joined by glycosidic linkage or glycosidic bonds are called oligosaccharides. In oligosaccharides, you will have 2 to 10 monosaccharide units. Any sugar structure that has more than 10 monosaccharide units will become a polysaccharide rather than a oligosaccharide. Okay, now these glycosidic linkages are formed by dehydrating the molecule. So you are essentially removing water from this and this combined. So you'll remove OH from one the and hydrogen ion from the other, and you make a dehydrated oligosaccharide molecule. If you want to break this bond, if you want to break the glycosidic linkage, you will simply have to hydrolyze it. So upon hydrolysis, upon addition of water, this bond will break. Okay, and you will get accordingly different number of sugar units depending on however many monosaccharides are attached. So for example, if it is a disaccharide like this, wherein there are two monosaccharides, आप उसको हाइड्रोलाइज करें तो आपको दो मोनोसैकेराइड्स मिलते हैं, अगर ट्राइसैकेराइड है तो तीन मिलते हैं, टेट्रासैकेराइड है तो चार मिलते हैं, सो ऑन एंड सो फोर्थ. Okay. Now, the number of glycosidic linkages, these are essentially covalent bonds. Okay, glycosidic linkages will be one less than the total number of monosaccharides. So, for example, if there is a oligosaccharide that has 9 monosaccharides attached to it, you will have 8 glycosidic bonds in between them. So, for example, this represents one monosaccharide. This is one. मैं ऐसे ही उतारता हूँ, ठीक है, for convenience. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Okay, this is the oligosaccharide with 9 monosaccharide units. Now if you count it this way, you have 8 number of bonds. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Okay, oh dear, once again, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. हाँ, एक से बढ़ के ऐड हो गया, इसलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ ये कहाँ से आया. Right, this is the 9 monosaccharide unit, 9 monosaccharides making oligosaccharide, which has one less number of glycosidic linkage. So total number of monosaccharides minus 1 will be your glycosidic number. Now the glycosidic linkage itself can be of 3-4 types. ठीक है, कौन सा कार्बन किससे बॉन्ड हो रहा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर अपन सुक्रोज को लिया, सुक्रोज हैज अ कार्बन 1 कार्बन 2 लिंकेज. सुक्रोज लुक्स लाइक दिस. ये देखो, this is how sucrose looks. So what do I mean by 1-2 linkage? The first carbon of this structure and the second carbon of this structure are attached to each other. ठीक है, ग्लाइकोसाइडिक लिंकेज यहाँ पर सुक्रोज की इस तरह बनी है ताकि द फर्स्ट कार्बन ऑफ द फर्स्ट स्ट्रक्चर इज अटैच्ड टू द सेकंड कार्बन ऑफ द सेकंड स्ट्रक्चर. Okay, now that that can be variable as well. You can have, for example, maltose. Maltose has a 1,4 bond. Maltose ऐसा रहता, देखो यहाँ पर फर्स्ट कार्बन ऑफ द स्ट्रक्चर ऑन द लेफ्ट इज अटैच टू द फोर्थ कार्बन ऑन द स्ट्रक्चर ऑन द राइट. सो ये कार्बन 1,4 लिंकेज बोलते हैं उसको, प्रीवियस वाले को कार्बन 1,2 लिंकेज बोलते हैं. ठीक है, सिमिलरली यू कैन हैव सेवरल डिफरेंट टाइप्स. सो C1 C2 linkage is sucrose. C1 to C4 linkage is maltose. You can also have lactose that also has C1 C4 linkage. There is C1 C6 linkage in isomaltose and gentiobose as well. Then there is C1 C1 linkage. This is in trehalose. You can have a lot of different types of linkages as this of this sort. Okay. Now specifically if we talk about sucrose is a table sugar. Okay. सुक्रोज को टेबल शुगर भी बोलते हैं. Obviously it has C1 C2 linkage. Now this C1 C2 linkage is between one molecule of glucose and one molecule of fructose. Meaning whenever I hydrolyze this molecule, whenever I break this molecule, I will get one molecule of glucose and the other molecule of fructose. There are two monosaccharides that are attached at alpha and beta glycosidic linkage. Okay. Now, as it has both the functional groups, you will have an aldehyde and a ketone. The aldehyde will be the glucose, ketone is the fructose. It is protected against oxidative attacks, hence it is more stable. Essentially, sucrose can be stored, it can be transported over long distances. This bond will not break easily. It is not very easy to hydrolyze sucrose. You'll need energy and all of that. So, isko aap store kar sakte. That is why it is used as stable sugar. It is also called invert sugar or cane sugar. Okay. Then there is maltose. Maltose जो है, it is made up of 2 units of alpha D glucose. So you have glucose and glucose bonding with each other. ये दो glucose molecule bind करके एक first position पे bind हो रहा. This is the first carbon, this is the fourth carbon. C14 linkage है ये दोनों के बीच में. Sprouting barley is a very excellent source of maltose. ठीक है, उसमें आपको maltose बहुत अच्छा मिलता. Generally maltose does not occur in free state, but it is found in free state. Generally intermediate product कैसा मिलता आपको. Intermediate आप दूसरे products को जब break down करते तो मिलता आपको. For example starch है या glycogen है. When you break down starch and glycogen, you generally get maltose. Okay. Now, as I told you, if you break down maltose even further, you will get diastase and amylase. Okay, especially from spouting barley, if you break down maltose, you will get diastase and amylase. All right. Then we have polysaccharides. So that is about oligosaccharides. We have polysaccharides. Polysaccharides का मतलब यह है इसमें more than 10 monosaccharides attached रहते हैं. ठीक है, more than 10 sugar units or more than 10 monosaccharide units are attached with glycosidic linkages. Now polysaccharides are of two types. You can have homopolysaccharides or heteropolysaccharides. Homopolysaccharides are those in which all sugar units are the same. It is a big molecule, big carbohydrate molecule which has all the same monosaccharide units. For example, you have glycans. ग्लाइकेंस में जो है पूरे यूनिट्स ग्लूकोज के रहते हैं. All of these monosaccharide units that are making the polysaccharide are made up of glucose. Or you can also have fructosins. Fructosins में पूरे fructose के बने हुए रहते हैं. ठीक है. Examples for homopolysaccharides will be starch, insulin, glycogen, chitin. All of these are made up of the same unit. ठीक है. Glycogen is also made up of glucose, completely glucose unit attached. Starch है आपके पास, chitin है, so on and so forth. Then we have heteropolysaccharides. Heteropolysaccharides are where you have two different types of sugar units attached with each other. ठीक है. For example, आपके पास है cellulose, hemicellulose. ठीक है. Hyaluronic acid. ठीक है. Heteropolysaccharides are as well of two types. You can have neutral sugars. These are all sugars which have more than 10 monosaccharide units. Okay, it's just that depending on their placement, you have different types. And mucopolysaccharides. Okay, heteropolysaccharides further have two types: mucopolysaccharides and neutral polysaccharides. First, we'll talk about homopolysaccharides. Hmm, let's talk about glycogen first. Glycogen जो है, this is called animal starch. It is present in very high concentration in liver and in muscle. Almost 7% of liver's net weight, the net weight of the liver, उसका 7% जो है will be made up of glycogen, because liver is one of the main sources where glycogen is stored. ठीक है, it is also found in plants. Glucose units are generally attached in the form of 1,4 units. So first carbon and fourth carbon of two different glucose units is attached together to form a glycosidic linkage, wherein ultimately it will form glycogen. Okay? And they are formed linearly. You will have branching at the 10th one, but you will have a long linear chain, then a branch. वैसा रहता. The molecular weight of glycogen is roughly around 4 lakh Daltons. ठीक है. This is water soluble, and generally if you mix it with iodine, it will give a red color. In order to detect glycogen, iodine को use करते हैं detection के लिए, and if you apply iodine, you will see reddish discoloration. ठीक है. You will see glycogen in maize, oats, rice, wheat, barley, all of them. ठीक है. Seeds, cereals and grains ये पूरा में मिलता है आपको. Then there is starch. ठीक है. Starch, it is the food material of plants. You can see it in grains, you can see it in seeds, you can see it in cereals, you can see it in vegetables, you can see it in tubers. ठीक है. And it is made up of homopolymer of glucose units. ठीक है, इसमें भी glucose attached है. It is just that it is attached in a different way. That is making up starch. Okay. Now if you break down starch, you have two different components. Now I'm not telling breaking it down into the most simplest units. If you break down starch to a little bit, you will get amylose and amylopectin. Now if you break down amylose and amylopectin even further, then you will get glucose. ठीक है, तो मैं intermediate product की बात कर रहा हूँ. Now, amylose is generally water soluble. It will give blue color in iodine, and amylose makes up about 15 to 20% of starch. So, if I have 1 kg of starch, उसमें से 150 to 200 grams will be amylose. ठीक है? If you break down amylose, if you perform hydrolysis on amylose, generally you'll get maltose. Maltose को फिर break down करें आप तो glucose मिलता. ठीक है? So, amylose to maltose, maltose to glucose. Then there is amylopectin. Amylopectin is a branched chain molecule. ठीक है. Amylose is a linear molecule, linear unbranched molecule. Amylopectin is a branched molecule, much more bigger type of molecule. ठीक है. यहाँ पर this makes up about 80 to 85% of starch. So as I previously told you, in this you have about 15 to 20% of starch is made up of amylose. About 80 to 85% of it is made up of amylopectin, and this is water insoluble. Amylose is water soluble, amylopectin is water insoluble. If you break down amylopectin, if you perform hydrolysis on amylopectin, you will get maltose and you will get isomaltose. Now if you break these down even further, then you will get glucose. Okay. If you look at starch as such, it is a white soft powder. ठीक है, white soft amorphous powder जैसा रहता. It will lack sweetness. It will not exactly be sweet. ठीक है, it will be very bland in taste. Then we have heteropolysaccharides. Heteropolysaccharides में will start off with hyaluronic acid. ठीक है. Heteropolysaccharides में specifically mucopolysaccharides. That is first one, hyaluronic acid. Now hyaluronic acid जो है, this is generally found in synovial fluid. ठीक है, synovial fluids in your joints. It is also found in vitreous humor of your eye. ठीक है, so आपके eye में दो अलग compartments रहते हैं. एक कंपार्टमेंट में विट्रियस ह्यूमर रहता है, दूसरे कंपार्टमेंट में एक्वियस ह्यूमर रहता है. ठीक है. So hyaluronic acid is a structure that is found both in synovial fluid as well as in vitreous humor of your eyes. Synovial synovial fluid of your joints and vitreous humor of your eyes. Now you can also find this in connective tissue. Okay, so you find it in synovial fluid, plus you find it in vitreous humor, you can find it in connective tissue as well. ठीक है, स्पेशली इन द फॉर्म ऑफ अ जेल कनेक्टिव टिश्यू में मिलता है आपको. यू कैन फाइंड इट अराउंड ओवम in the form of a gel, and you can find it in umbilical cord. ठीक है, generally it serves as a lubricant and shock absorbent. In case of joints, it will act as a lubricant and shock absorbent, and biological cement in case of connective tissue. It will reinforce and strengthen connective tissue. आपका connective tissue की strength and connective tissue की integrity highly depends on hyaluronic acid. अगर hyaluronic acid कम है तो connective tissue will break down very easily. The patient might have arthralgia, myalgia because of muscle tearing and all of that. Now, this is made up of alternative units of glucurononic acid and unacetyl glucosamine. ठीक है, hyaluronic acid को अगर आप break down करें, hyaluronic acid, if you break it down, you will get two main units of sugar. ठीक है, that is glucuronic acid plus N-acetyl D-glucosamine. ठीक है, ये दो स्ट्रक्चर मिलते हैं आपको. Now, these form essentially a disaccharide unit, and they are held together by a beta 1,3 bondage or beta 1,4 bondage. So 1,3 bonds रहते हैं उसके बीच में या 1,4 bonds रहते हैं. Now, as such, they are about 250 to 25,000 disaccharide units. तो ये दो मिला के एक disaccharide unit बना रहा. ऐसे 250 to 25,000 disaccharide units are present in hyaluronic acid, and hyaluronic acid itself has a molecular weight of about 50 lakh Daltons. ठीक है. Now, you will find a high concentration of hyaluronic acid in seminal fluid. You will find it in high concentration in testes as well. You'll find it in certain snake venoms, insect venoms में भी मिलता. Specifically hyaluronidase. Hyaluronidase बोल के hyaluronidase एक एंजाइम रहता है hyaluronidase बोल के. It will help in fertilization in semen. ठीक है, hyaluronidase is a product of hyaluronic acid. This hyaluronic acid is very important for fertilization. ठीक है, it is also helping in invasion of bacteria. Some bacteria will have these hyaluronidase, and they will help. This hyaluronidase will essentially help that bacteria in invading any host. So whether it is a human or wherever it is, infecting plant में infect कर रहा, human में infect कर रहा, ये hyaluronidase, if it is present in bacteria, it will help in the invasion and bacterial infection. Then there is heparin. Heparin is another type of heteropolysaccharide. This is also a mucopolysaccharide. These are all mucopolysaccharides. Okay. Heparin specifically, this contains uronic acid and sulfuric acid. Uronic plus sulfuric acid. ठीक है, that is why it is called an acidic heteropolysaccharide. ठीक है. Now, the main function of heparin is as an anticoagulant. Now, I'm not sure whether you guys have been taught the coagulation cascade till now. आप लोगों को blood जब पढ़ाते, जब coagulation cascade पढ़ाएंगे, what are clotting proteins, what is the process of clotting, and how your body will naturally stop the process of clotting when you have enough amount of clotting. ठीक है, but essentially it will act as a coagulant, and it is present in blood. You will find heparin in liver, lungs. You will find it in blood, liver, lungs, kidney, and spleen. ठीक है. Now generally what heparin does is it will stop the process of prothrombin conversion into thrombin. That is how it is acting as a anticoagulant. This fellow will stop conversion of factor 2 into factor 1. Essentially it will stop prothrombin into thrombin. If thrombin is activated, that is when coagulation becomes complete. यहाँ पर it is acting as an anticoagulant. It is stopping the process of clotting. See, it is very important to stop the process of clotting at one point. If let's suppose you have an injury, at that point blood is being lost, hemorrhage is occurring, and your body is obviously trying to clot, trying to stop that bleeding process. तो clotting करना ठीक है. Essentially what will happen is clotting proteins will come, your platelets will come, they'll form a there'll be a proper clotting cascade, intrinsic extrinsic pathway will come into picture, and there's a plug formed. ठीक है. एक होल के ऊपर let us suppose आपका blood vessel ऐसा है. ठीक है. And let us suppose this is the hole that is being formed. ठीक है. अब ये होल में से blood निकल रहा था ऐसा because of injury. What your platelets and all of them will do is essentially they will come and they will block it in such a way that this bleeding is stopped. Now if there is a certain amount of clotting, it is fine. यहाँ पर clotting cascade से ये block हो गया bleeding, so that your body has enough time to repair that blood vessel. ठीक है. The problem is if this process of clotting is not stopped, this will continue, and as it continues, see what is happening to the diameter of your blood vessel. Now blood is supposed to flow freely, right? अगर ये clotting की process रोके नहीं, so what will happen is blood will get stopped. Passage of blood will get stopped and passage of blood will be blocked. Because of that, certain structures which this blood vessel was supplying blood to, those will undergo damage. There will be ischemia there, oxygen नहीं मिलता, nutrients नहीं मिलते, and those cells will start getting damaged. So it is very important to stop the process of clotting at one point of time. This heparin is essentially stopping the process of clotting by preventing prothrombin converting into thrombin. तो वो process अगर बंद हो गया तो it will eliminate the effect of thrombin on fibrinogen. If thrombin's effect on fibrinogen does not occur, you will not see any fibrin strands being activated. Thrombin will essentially help in conversion of fibrinogen into fibrin strands. Fibrin strands are what are making sure these platelets are being stuck to each other. ठीक है. यहाँ पर अगर आप फाइब्रिन स्ट्रैंड को ब्लॉक कर दिए because you are blocking thrombin, this sticking process will stop and the clotting process is stopping in general. ठीक है. So very important protein, heparin. Finally we have something called chondroitin sulfate. Chondroitin sulfate. Now chondroitin sulfate is present in several structures. It is the chief constituent of cornea, chief constituent in cornea. It will be present in cartilage, tendons, bones. You'll find it in skin, heart, heart valves. You'll find it in saliva and arteries. ठीक है. So very important structure. It is present in several of your organs. ठीक है. It is essentially consisting of a disaccharide unit, repeating disaccharide unit of glucuronidase acid and N-acetyl galactosamine. ठीक है. जैसा hyaluronidase was a combination of glucuronic acid and glucosamine, this is a combination of glucuronic acid and galactosamine. ठीक है. They are essentially joined together by a beta-1,3 linkage. All right. This is also contributing to integrity of these structures. अगर chondroitin sulfate नहीं रहा, these structures will not be as hard as they are. ठीक है. जो integrity है, it will break down essentially. Without chondroitin sulfate, there is a certain amount of integrity to all of these. ठीक है. There is essentially there because of chondroitin sulfate, they are able to hold their weight and they are able to essentially chondroitin sulfate is acting as a supporting structure. Without chondroitin sulfate, cornea, cartilage, all of these will not be tendons, will not be able to stay as they are and they will break down essentially. Okay. So those are all the types of polysaccharides that we have in your syllabus. And next class we'll discuss about glycolysis. Okay, so I'm ending it here intentionally because from next class we'll start cycles. The part where I told you important long answers will come. Next class से start हो रहा. ठीक है, so make sure all of you attend from the next class on time. ठीक है, we'll start glycolysis in the next class.